have Robin. Tapping, her Leslie.
Is that your bottle on top of there? Every day there's a bottle on top of there.
Yes, I bought that for you.
I put it up there.
Yesterday, but I was wearing that terrible hat. I guess I was a little strange and scared.
Umberto, yeah, was very
There you go.
chipper tonight.
And he was there. He was
Very
I took the
handsome.
ball to him. And
He was handsome.
he thought it was
Umberto.
so
What was he saying about the festival?
I think he said I like to party better than I like to work, but
No, I think he said I'm working especially hard because of the festa.
maybe that's why, I think that might be tomorrow, because some guy said, the ceramic guy said he wasn't gonna open tomorrow.
My book.
What's the best?
Council, it's a tradition, we need the poem of mottos. Never go anywhere without your own peppermint. That's another one.
The poem of
Always
mottos.
give to National Public Radio.
To what?
National Public Radio.
NEDO.
Well, we'll have to make a tile for you, Miriam, that says whatever you want it to say, but it could say never go anywhere without your own peppermill.
I learned that from my daddy, who, we once bought him from Hammaker and Schlemmer, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
A little portable peppermill. It got tedious when he went to every restaurant and asked for a peppermill.
And then he brought his own.
And then I think after my father,
Well, don't the waiters come around with the peppermill, and especially in Italian restaurants?
yeah,
they do.
sometimes they do.
Not always. This is a good salad.
Now I have a friend named Robin,
You haven't
Yes.
had any yet, have you?
who has been married several times
Yes.
and divorced.
Have some, so I can have seconds.
He's undergoing a sex change.
Surgery?
No, but he's taken drugs, he's got breasts, he's got, no hair.
Where is he married now?
He's not married right now, but he has a new girlfriend. So is Robin a lesbian?
What? Is that Jan?
Transsexual.
That's my answer.
It's unclear whether or not Robin wants to be a female or wants to be of some gender that's between male and female, or that's not exactly female and it's not exactly male, which is possible if we consider that there's a spectrum of gender identities. And then there's the question of what sexual orientation does this person feel?
Clearly, he's drawn to women, he loves women. He's one of the most feminine people I know. Not effeminate, feminine, very feminine.
And wants to have,
So he's feminine.
and wants to
He
have a
loves
sexual,
women.
wants to have a sexual life with women.
Well, he has children.
Calendar. And there was no name on the calendar, but there were names of people that the person knew. And I called two of them. Anyway, I surmised that it was a she, and that she played chamber music, and that she was connected to MIT. And that she was foreign, because she wrote her appointments as like 12H. And I found out she was about to get married, and I found out she was on Zola. You found she was on Zola from her appointment book? There were all kinds of things in that appointment book. And I called this guy,
But great material for a short story.
anyway, I called two people, and one called me back, but the owner never called me.
So didn't that occur to you that you could write a great short story
Yeah,
called
okay.
The Appointment Book?
Yeah.
I kept the book.
Her name was not in the book with her own phone number and address?
Wow, what a great story.
I had things like, buy paper plates for mother and things like that.
And the people that you called didn't give you the name of the person?
When you go home,
Well, I forget what they said, but they were appreciative and all of that. I think they might have said somebody had left the country.
there is, right now, after the movie plotted around the finding of a diary, the reading of it, and the using the knowledge of the person in the diary pages to actually heal the diarist who was hospitalized from a very severe auto accident and in a coma. So the person has found this diary and read it, goes to visit her, sits with her every day, every day.
Because she has all this identity and.
Yeah.
What is this called?
The movie is called, has a very bad name, it's called something about, angel, dream angels or something like that. You know what I mean?
It's not
There
the
is a movie
remake of
that's
that.
out named Angel something right now, that it's supposed to be really good.
It's,
I know that's
it's a
it.
fabulous movie, it has nothing to do
Where
with
was it made?
Wings of Desire
Mhm,
in
yeah.
France. It has the best camera work I've seen ever, it stays with these beautiful faces and women. And it concerns two women in their 20s who are outside the world, and what happens to them in the course of 6 months. One makes it into society and the other doesn't. And they have formed a chance alliance, they room together, they help each other, and then finally, through conflict, separate. One goes up through the reading of the story and the healing of the girl, and the other kills herself.
Now that we know the whole story, Miriam, thank you very much. Really, the end of the, I
Miriam,
always liked
Okay,
him.
can I add some more?
she's got herself, awaiting her.
Anybody need more,
What about John Harrison?
Nina.
And others people feel, oh no, I shouldn't either, or something, that.
But I think we need to
That's that.
qualify my
Yeah.
sense of entitlement.
You're modifying it as you get older.
No,
No?
never mind. You can figure it out yourself.
Qualify your sense of entitlement?
No, I mean, I feel entitled
To some things.
to some things, but I don't, but I restrain myself on lots of things. I certainly don't feel entitled to endless money. And a lot of the things that I feel entitled to don't cost anything.
Like a good picnic spot.
Yeah, like a good picnic spot.
I feel entitled to all that, I just haven't obtained it. I haven't figured out how to obtain my entitlement.
Mhm. Well, that's
Living
nice.
in my big mansion.
Big enough to support all the wrought iron.
Right.
Chandelier.
Would you like that? Would you like to have a really big house?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to fill it, but I'd like to live in one of the lot.
But you'd like to have a big spacious.
Well, I like big space, of course.
You know, of course, when Robin and I used to go to an art colony, she would always pick the big space, and I would always pick the small space.
That's true.
Of course, we're small, and
Yeah.
Gail's tall.
Which art color?
Coming thin. But in general,
When you lived in that commune, you lived in a room that I considered a closet.
I was perfectly happy.
And you were perfectly happy in that commune, and I would think, how could Leslie stand living here?
That's the European idea of a bedchamber. You don't live in it, you sleep in it.
No, I worked in there too.
And then she houses them, she puts them up
In a
in a
friend's
neighbor's
mansion.
Right, the one's of course, they're thrashing. It is just amazing.
And not all workers are good. She found that.
Did you howl with laughter?
I loved it, I
Yeah,
just thought
yeah,
it was
that's
so
very good.
wonderful. It's wonderfully plotted, wonderfully thought out, very comedic.
What was it again?
Mona in the
Mona,
Promise.
that book was Mona in the Promised Land by Gish Jen.
Oh, it was named after Lillian Gish.
Oh, she was?
What? She was
Named after Lillian Gish.
She probably teaches at MIT now.
No, but she
And it's
appears
very
on
exciting.
Christopher Wyden's
she
program,
does?
yeah.
He used to teach at MIT.
Did he?
Say it again,
What
please.
makes black music black? And there were a number of people on a panel, including one white woman who's this wonderful singer that does sort of very modern jazz. And then
You might know her too.
Dominique Eade.
I do know who she is.
Yes, Dominique.
How did you know she would know?
Because Leslie's interested in contemporary jazz.
Yeah, she lives in New York now, so she was the woman panel was trying to figure out what she was doing there, because she's soft and non-combative. But anyway, he was there, and came up to me and started talking.
Really? I thought you were going to tell me the other story. I thought you were going to say he was standoffish and
Oh, no, he started talking, but there was something about he was very brusque.
his sense of entitlement.
Yes.
Good call, Miriam.
Really? Yeah, very, very brusque, desk and.
But of course,
they're
they're
speeding
interested,
around.
just assuming that of course she'd be interested in what he had to say.
Well, I think it's neat to go through.
But his
go around the
show
world that
is
way.
so
I think it's
good.
wonderful.
Yeah.
It's better to feel entitled to walk up to people and talk to them and listen to them than to feel, oh, I can't.
You do that.
Do what?
Well, walk up to you, she tries.
Well, when I'm good, I do it. You know, there are times when I'm shy and broken and I can't do it.
More shy with the cactus, man.
The cactus. I was thinking about him on the way over. This was from once a
This
year
is
last year.
fantastic.
Yeah, he was wonderful. Before, he was before.
He's after Roy Orbison.
He's from Texas and he had a lot of women and he had,
Why don't we?
you know who I mean, he's it. He's it, oh, that's scary, you guys. Why I love it? No, more obvious, everybody knows him.
You know what he sang when it was?
Not Elf.
Denver.
No, not John Denver.
No.
Margaritaville?
Yeah, but,
Margaritaville guy?
no, it's more, it's something you all know. I mean, everybody in the world knows. Texas? I'm so scared. I'm really scared. I mean, we all forget those things. What are the initials?
Did he die?
Yes, he died early from drugs and he's somebody. Wait, no, because I'm putting things up there. And calling Roy Orbison. When you hear, he was more famous than Roy Orbison. When you hear.
Elvis Presley.
Texas? Elvis Presley. He's from Tennessee. Shows you how much Robin knows about popular culture. Elvis Presley. When you hear Elvis Presley, when you see Roy Orbison, you see Elvis Presley, and Roy Orbison was.
Tennessee Ernie Williams.
Who's that?
Ford.
Who's that?
That's our idol.
Right.
Before your time.
That's right. Tennessee, I would know, but Texas, it's like that.
Talk about shoes, they're so cute. They're so you.
That's what you said.
Leslie told me to.
The women in the, did anyone see them today? In this, the
Yes.
the middle-aged women with the shopping bags, and each one had a distinctive hat, and they walked all the way into
No,
town.
those were Italians, weren't they?
They were so Italian, there was,
No.
what?
They were Italian Jews?
I don't know, there was a group of Jewish women, and all I have a little thing about
Were they walking single file like dancers?
You
No,
saw
that's
them?
not
Funky drunk?
No, this is
Yeah.
a different.
Oh, well, they did go, then they got into the center of the square, and they put all their shopping bags, and then they did a dance, that wasn't a hurrah. They did a circle dance,
Like a
and
Greek-
they were hysterical, and they were so happy.
Did you
and
take a
funny.
picture?
What?
Did you have your camera?
I think I took one
Oh,
picture, because I
good.
thought what we should do is juxtapose it with those nunnery people in Montpellier. You know, what we
The
have to do
dance we
now.
went to
The
see.
dancers in a circle in
Oh,
Montpellier.
yes.
And then we're gonna do that one, and Matisse's answers. Yeah. I mean, we have to start,
In Barcelona on Sunday in front of the church,
When we're there? No.
no, everybody who wants to comes out and puts their pocketbooks and shopping bags in a pile in a center,
Really?
and they dance around it. And there are several different circles, and everybody just puts their stuff in the center so nobody can steal it, and they dance around their circle. And it's a very special Spanish dance, it's very complicated stuff, every Sunday afternoon.
What are the
Any-
steps?
They're complicated, they're a little like Greek, it's very delicate, and they dip, and they rise, and they move this way, and then they move this way a little further, and they move back. It was so wonderful.
And the common
And there's a
people know
name.
this dance?
Yes, the people, that's who does the dance. It has a name. I don't remember the name, but it has a very specific name.
It's a Basque dance or it's
Well, it must be, if it- Barcelona's not, well, See? Barcelona's not too far from Basque. Dave?
yes,
What did you like about being here?
You.
That's very cool.
Please, I like you.
I like
She
you.
always looks like she's just come from
Beautiful.
From where?
from getting coiffed. You
I'm
got
getting
the most gorgeous
It's the
hair.
worst.
It's just a good cut.
It's the worst one. You haven't seen my best hair yet.
How many people, how many
This year
people,
is not good. This year is not.
Good
It's
hair.
a little better. Next
how
year.
many people think Dee is self-effacing?
This is our one chance to get Dee on tape. And I think Barbara's doing an excellent
I'm glad
job.
you said on tape. It sounded like this was your one chance to get D.
On tape, and Barbara's doing an excellent job of trying to bring her out by asking extremely good questions such as, what did you enjoy about being here? Okay, that's a good one.
Is it over? I'm
No,
still
no, you're
enjoying
not.
it.
What have you been enjoying?
I have been, first of all, the ambience.
Garlic in here?
Yes.
It is.
The people,
Bad
the
idea.
ambience, the scenery is
What
incredible.
about the people?
I love the people.
Can you say why?
I love them better than last year. And I love the new person, because she stands above the rest.
Is she like that woman in the picture we saw today, who stood above the rest? That woman who was rising and all the other people were under her and they were looking?
great.
Oh, you mean Mary with the
Yeah,
cape?
yeah.
You have to go
Is there a
slowly.
accordion?
No, no.
No, she doesn't look like
Figure
that.
out what misericordia
Oh,
means?
yeah, what is misericordia?
Misery and hope.
Misery and hope.
No.
That's what I'm making it up to mean.
Dee,
Yes.
what about the art?
That's good.
The art. I think I said all I can say about it.
Well, we haven't,
I
some of us
love
weren't with you.
Sienese art. I love early Sienese art.
Yes.
I love the
We like different
simplicity.
things.
I love the detail. I love the color. I love the way the people look, their expressionless expressions. I love the space. I don't know. I think I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was about Siena or this area in Tuscany that made these people paint that way.
It was
Except that
good
a very
government.
Good government. It was good government. And I guess people who have good government have good paintings. Barbara, I can't say any.
Do you like Pope Pius the Second?
Yeah, I like Piccolomini. I like what he did to his town. And it's just the right size for us.
Look at her now.
It's a Piccolomini town. Okay, that's enough.
I don't know, turn it off.
Just push the red button.
Other song.
Miriam's face at the window.
You did?
Yeah, I wrote about the bombers flying over.
We thought of you when they went. We thought of you.
But it's heaven except for,
Rhonda burst into tears when they flew over England.
and that we miss her. And she must come back next year. Come next year.
When we go to Greece, England, and
Someone should finish the card, yes?
and Scotland.
Okay, signing off, leaving the window.
Okay. We are now at the Abbazia,
Abatia, Monte Olivetti, Maggiore.
see what a group?
Did he say this or did he say
No, he said,
Convento?
he said this. He said this the first time to read about it. Where's the reading place? Perfect.
I don't see how there could be a good view there unless it's down that way, but
There may be other spots to sit.
go and send him a...
No, to have a look.
What's the Benedictines make? Do they make jams? The Benedictines make something.
Yeah, look at that.
But somebody has the green book and they should read it again.
To have you tell stories.
Yeah, you rise to the head.
Yeah, I better sit at the
Yeah, you better
I remember that other time when I had to leave the crowd and I didn't.
Don't you want to sit at the head?
No, I'm too tired.
It's more.
Yeah. I prefer traveling with women who are slightly... Io prefero fare un viaggio con le ancienne.
Le donne.
Le ancienne.
Le donne anziane.
Perché le ancienne...
Vecchio.
Vecchio e ancien. Old and ancient. The old and ancient. Because they appreciate the passage of time and they have wisdom. Unlike the callowness of youth, young people who think time is infinite, it is only those who have an understanding that time is not infinite who can appreciate the present. And that's why I love to be around people who are older than I.
How do you say short? I know lunga.
Corta.
Corta, we call them Laura
And lunga is,
We're actually older than you.
Tempus fugit.
I like being the oldest
We
one.
just have additional years, but we're not older.
You have the experience of raising children, of some of you have
We
grandchildren.
have additional decrepitude too, some of us. We know, we can tell you what to expect of your
There's
bodies,
also that.
of your future.
No, I appreciate that.
You do? Well, you've always been nice taking care of it, but I could see where it would get in the way. Of course, we have one of us who's not decrepit at all. Leslie? No, Barbara. Well, you know, and Dee too, but I mean, the way you keep up with each other, you could be sisters, right?
Keep up with each
We
other.
could be teenagers.
You're hopping up the mountain.
Yeah, but she's sick, it's like
That day she wasn't sick. And I had to say, Les, are you okay? I'll slow down. And then when her bike fell apart, I had to go all the way back down the mountain and fix it and go back up.
So is there a summary, like, do I have to ask Barbara questions, like, what was the moment that
Did you first realize?
that was the most awe-inspiring, or whatever? You ask the question, Barbara.
But it tastes good.
You have a question, Barbara, for the group?
I do, but I'm not in the mood to ask the one I want to ask.
Well, we're very close to the end of our vacation, and you want to see these things on tape, and you'll say, oh, I should have.
It's too serious.
I think one awe-inspiring moment for me was seeing the verdure at the Orvieto market.
What?
Which we were not privy
Vegetables were
to.
just gorgeous.
Next time you should come every step of the way.
That's what we left time for.
What was the other awe-inspiring? That's what Leslie found most inspiring.
It was, the Orvieto market was,
Oh, Miriam did too.
I knew that I did not want to do another market after this.
Oh, the Orvieto market. Oh, I thought the one we went.
No.
Oh, then I feel better. I thought you were picking the one thing we missed.
Anybody?
You and I.
We were all
All right, that's a good question. We have to that's a very good. Yeah, that's a good question. Like the moment that you.
I could answer.
Well, the moment, okay, you can answer it. And then when she answers it, then you'll know what the question is.
Due momente.
See?
Uno momente an the Duomo Romanesco,
Which Duomo, yeah.
cantare,
The singing Duomo.
Gregorian,
The singing Duomo.
due momento, ballare la bambina.
Ah, yes, that was wonderful.
That was
Really, Miriam?
Really?
Yeah. You found that very moving?
Very moving.
I found it so unmoving, I had to walk away. Tell you the truth.
What moved you, Robin?
Why was that so unmoving? It reminds me a little bit, I'll tell you why. Michael Blumenthal once told me a wonderful thing. He told me that when he saw his wife playing with their child, when the child was very young, he found it so upsetting he had to leave the room.
And what is it?
And I can completely relate.
What is it?
It's absolute bodily envy. That's what I felt. That's what I thought he meant.
Fascinating.
He could not bear to see the tenderness, the love, the mirroring, all that psychological health.
What happened to you?
All that psychological
I
health.
loved it, I felt part of it.
Really?
Embraced by
What
it.
I thought was it
That's
was
so
so
interesting.
wonderful
You
to see
just-
Barbara so animated and so.
I think all that animation not directed at me.
All that animation is there.
Was that the highlight of your trip, Barbara?
Tell us, well, you have others, right?
Anybody else want to say a word?
Moments, are there moments?
Well, I was very happy when we first arrived at Chereto and I saw how
Chireno.
nice it was.
Chirito or Reno?
Chereto.
I think when we drove up to, oh, go ahead.
And I loved the, my first sight of the Duomo in Orvieto, especially in the light. And I was very relieved when Gail said she didn't mind that very ugly hotel we stayed in Orvieto. That was really, so mostly mine were reliefs.
What about the gelateria? Orvieto.
Ah,
We had so much fun there.
I feel like we missed half the trip. It was all highlights of
I think the
Orvieto.
time when I felt most like I was traveling was when I was with Barbara and we were lost on these roads and we got to the end of the road and something was there in the middle and there was no way to turn around and
I hate to
and
say
that
it,
was
but that whole day might have been my
a little
highlight.
study of
Sorry. I mean, not sorry, but I'm sorry everybody else, but that day was...
Gail, can you tell us?
finished.
I heard it 3 times. That was the day, you're sorry to say. One more time.
We will, we have to do it next.
Go on.
Miriam.
Robin, Gail, either of you? I thought you both in view.
Moments. I loved hearing the singing. Though, as some of you may have noticed, I didn't continue to stand throughout the whole service because of lower back pain in the young.
Okay, I'm sure you don't have to.
Right. They say whoever wants to sit can sit here. And I found the meals very wonderful.
Oh,
I wanted to
so good.
say, yeah, I thought, when we came home late, quarter to 8, and Gail's potato salad was there, and we sat outside. That was one of my favorite.
The food that we cooked was so good. Those roasted potatoes, I'll never forget. They were so good.
With the lavender from the garden.
Yes.
What we thought it was lavender?
And the pasta
We
and
had
the
lavender
soup.
out in our yard. What else do you put in it?
Well, when I'm making it home, I also put in a little mint and coarse salt. So just a little bit so you get a crunch of salt.
But here it was lavender and rosemary.
Yeah, and sage.
And sage.
And I don't put sage in it.
That sounds great. Does it have to be a moment?
No, it can be anything. I just wanted,
Something else that happened.
wait, could you wait 1 minute, Barbara? Because I think Gail may have something she'd like to say.
You know, for me, it's a very personal thing. It's being in that room with the windows wide open in my bedroom at bedtime and listening to the cacophony of the frogs. And then in the morning, the birds, and watching the sun come up. And just, I mean, there's so much beauty in looking out the windows and sitting on the hill by our house. I mean, I would have been very content to have just sat at that place for a week and read. But I would not have missed what we did for anything. So, you know, I mean, it's both, but I think that that's probably what I'll carry the most. Although the museum that we were in, yes, that was magical.
I learned so much. I feel like I learned so much.
I did.
Which museum?
The Panacoteca, where we were immersed in 14th century, 15th century.
We did. That's
And
beautiful.
just seeing the movement in the art was really
Yeah.
Barbara, what was it you wanted to say?
I can't remember now, so... Thank you.
And it's your fault.
This is just a feeling of perfect chemistry in the group. And that's the end of that one. But it was just, I don't think that happens. I don't think groups get together and have that. That's rare.
I was saying in a car this morning, someone from work said, "You're going to Tuscany, I want to go with you. Let's go together next year." It would not be the same trip. It just wouldn't be. And she's wonderful and dear and one of my new favorite people at work. She was the one who lent me the Pimsler tapes. What?
Who is that?
Jean Little, who lent me the Pimsler tapes. You don't know her.
Well, my moments, anybody want to hear my moments? My moments were, no.
I didn't know.
I feel so, my moments
Wait a second, we're hearing these moments.
were, and I don't even, I thought, I may have. And the minute we, the minute, oh, okay.
It's on, it's going.
All right.
The minute we drove up the road, that very steep road to our place, and I stepped out of the car, and I said, this is the realization of a fantasy, of all of those pictures that I saw of Tuscany, of the drive-through that we took year after year, where I said, I wish I could stay in a place like this, and that was one. The other is an overall feeling that I feel so much at home with all you guys. I feel so myself, so relaxed, so happy to be here. I'm about to cry because I feel, I'm beginning to feel the separation. I'm beginning to feel the separation. But Stan, I love you. So, and of course the art, but the art for me is like, it's always in my life. It's always there.
But not this art.
When this art I've seen before, and this art, visiting it again and again and again, is always just more of this wonderful thing. It's just like visiting old friends again. It's like being with family again. It just feels, you know, kind of renewing and exciting and memorable all over.
On female friendship. No man can recreate or be a part of that.
But at least he'll understand what it is about it that I long for and love. And he'll be very comfortable again encouraging me to go. And will we show this to Fred? And Fred, what will Fred say?
Can you imagine 6 men going to Tuscany for a week together?
No, but I know 6 men who go canoeing in the Colorado and camping and...
But that's different. That's macho. Yeah, that's like Robert Bly takes to the woods.
But, you know, so if you travel with Henry James and his entourage, you could do this, or, you know, the people who've stopped here and read and...
Reminds me. In the Tuscan Michelin, there is a whole list of books and films about this region. And the Taviani brothers have filmed this region extensively.
Who were they?
Well, they're movie makers, they're directors, and they've done wonderful movies. So we all have to copy down the names of these movies. One of the first books is E.M. Forster.
Room with a view, isn't it?
Well, A Room with a View is Florence, but there's also, there's another one, Forster one that I forget. Do you have the Tuscany book?
We saw that.
I mentioned it many times. Steve got very bored when I said
Must
it.
be in the car.
What, the perfect weather?
The week before,
And
Leslie and I were
Well, that was, as I said, it was serendipitous. You can never predict. But maybe wherever we go, whenever we go someplace, the weather is right for us.
and if it's not right, it's right.
That's right.
That's the best.
This is pretty good, even without the song.
I thought so. It's better than the others.
You could put the memory of my mother, my sister and I going to my grandmother's house for some holiday. It was a long walk. I was walking and my sister was in the carriage. And at one point my sister became cranky and my mother started scolding her and said, I'm going to leave you here. She grabbed me and started pulling me in the direction of my grandmother's house. And I begged her not to leave my sister. I promised her she would be okay. That was my story.
I just got goosebumps right here.
Oh, wow. I have a lot of stories of being left with certain responsibilities like that. Like my mother went shopping one day, and my brother was the baby. My sister was there, and we had a puppy. We always had puppies for about 3 or 4 days. My mother, when did she give them back? And we had dumbwaiters in these apartments, you know, those things that you hold up and down for garbage. And there was a fire in the dumbwaiter, and the dumbwaiter was in the kitchen, so the kitchen started getting filled with smoke. And I knew enough to get my sister and brother outside. I must have been about 7 or 8. But the dog, the puppy, was under the table in the kitchen. So I ran back and rescued the puppy. The firemen came and
And then my mother came home and said, well, what's all this commotion about? And that was, I mean, it wasn't like heroin. Courageous acts for granted. But I learned how to take care of myself at a young age. I had to, and other people.
What about you, Kim?
I have just one sister who's from, she was somewhat retarded. So they had children with very different my very good friend. The husband was and so he said to raise the children independently so that there would never be any comparison. If one was a girl child, the other would be a camp. Everybody raised more as
And what do you think in retrospect about that philosophy as they practiced it?
well, there were lots of restrictions that were attached to that, like not showing anger, is that surprising? Or showing many emotions, just restricted in that sense. You couldn't say you dummy, which is perfectly natural
For kids to say.
Yeah, but you couldn't slam the door.
So this must be a very strange experience, the way we...
I said early on that it's very good for me, because it's something that I struggle with.
And that we don't hate each other. We Maybe. We still have a few hours.
But here's my question. Were the parents allowed to do these things that the kids were not allowed to do, or did the parents hold themselves to the same standards? So the parents didn't yell or slam doors or
No, that's not entirely true.
say you're stupid, or why did you do it that way?
There was a period of time when my mother was
You know how she got it back?
psychiatric.
And in those days, it was probably advanced.
I mean, I don't know, I know she went to see someone.
What about Miriam? I haven't heard about...
Spoiled only child. She was the light of her parents' life.
Not only my parents, but
Her aunt.
my aunts, all my father's relatives had no children.
Oh, that's right.
So I was like the only child of my 5 siblings.
Okay.
That's it. My mother worked, my father worked, and I was brought up by my mother's sister, who was the only one of 7 children on my mother's side never to marry.
So that was her role.
And her role was to caretake me. And at age 50, she came to live with us, trading a life in the world for a life of dependency.
What was her life in the world?
She was a seamstress. She did piecework.
So that's why
She had her own money, she had her own activities, she had her own friends, and she traded it all for little Miriam.
But she wanted to be married, and about the time she came to live with us, she had an opportunity when a sister of hers died in childbirth, and she expected that she would marry that husband. He would then ask her.
Your mother's sister.
And the tragedy of this woman's life was,
She never got asked. She was never.
This is like a show I saw.
this is so sad.
You know the show.
Is this the aunt you're taking care of now?
Different side of the family.
So imagine her surprise when the focus of her adult life after the age of 50 was little Miriam. And Miriam was bright and precocious and loving and affectionate, and she beamed all of her love on Miriam, and Miriam beamed it back. And so for many years they had this very mutual, rich relationship. And then what happened?
Then she got older. I got older. Mommy and Daddy got more unhappy. And everybody began to fight some more. And my Daddy said to Mommy, I have to have privacy in this house. I can't stand it here with your sister anymore. So the sister was sent to live with a different sister. And she never came back. And from there she went to an old age home. What was that Jewish home in Riverdale, Hebrew home for the aged in Riverdale, and she became blind. And all of her sisters would take a bus for 2 hours to visit her every week up in the home. They were so guilty. They should have been.
Were you sick?
And that was only one of the ways in which my mother capitulated to my father's temper tantrums,
Right.
which she then did again and again.
And Miriam
So
saw this
embittered
as
against
one
each
model
other.
of how to be a woman, and she thought, this will not be me.
But I've never found another one so wrong.
No, you're not. You have rich life of friends.
I have rich life of friends.
And family.
Terrible.
You read?
I felt.
How old were you? And how old were you when she came? 5. Oh, she was only there for 5 years.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Those are important years.
14 when she left.
My aunt would make me lunch when I came home from school in the middle of the day. Monday we would have rock lobster tails.
Oh my God. Did you really?
Tuesday a little steak.
Speaking of talking about they
Entitlement.
made full lunches in those days. My mother used to tell me she made lamb chops and spinach and a baked potato.
And her brisket was divine, and she baked. My father put up with her for her baking because he loved her apple crumb pie, and he would pick the crumbs off the top. Sam, don't do that, Sam.
Your father's name was Sam.
Sam's are the enfant méchant.
Miriam's father was one of those men
Did you know him?
who believed that women's role was to wait on men. And for this, I never forgive him.
Are we mixing up her father with your father?
Believed that women should wait on him.
He believed that his feelings and needs had to be attended to, and women were the ones to do it.
My father was
My mother was elementary school secretary. She ran the office for one of the elementary schools in Forest Hills, Queens. She and her principal loved each other as colleagues for years and years, so well respected. With the admiration she never got from my father for his skills, she always got from her principal.
Was it a man?
You are for me, and who in your family I am for you. And we are modeling some relationship, and I'm not sure which it is, but I think it's a nicer, more benign, better version. We've been able to change the story. My father, my mother, your father, your mother. I think we've been able to change it a little bit.
I feel like you're a big sister I didn't have.
I prefer that to me.
Think of you as my big sister because
I never had a sister either.
right, I know, and I never had a big sister. So in a way,
Is it all right if I listen to it?
yes. It was all those years of living together that made me have that feeling, I think.
Some knew and didn't ask. And some were tired of the subject. So I don't think it was personal because you weren't the only one who didn't get to talk about this.
But when you talk about patterns, like what you were saying to Robin,
Yeah.
suddenly I got this sadness. I mean, one of them is a relief, like I know I don't want to talk, and I really know you all read all that crap, and but the other was, here I am again, sitting at my family table. And that's all.
That was what your favorite table was like?
My response was everybody got to talk, and I just sat there and hummed. I hummed all by myself in this music. Look at you.
But weren't you listening to other people's stories?
They just,
Well, that's selfish.
I couldn't do it. My father was talking very slowly. My mother was talking very loudly. My brothers were talking very bountifully. And me and my other 2 siblings were no space in the noise. Later.
And they work.
I want you to go and compose.
Don't go into prose.
No, don't go and compose. It has to be.
Oh, there's nothing, what comes to mind? That I was a middle child. You know the rest of it. I do. Well, see, the tape is running down, and then you're going to be so angry if you don't get all of this, and you're going to say, what happened to me? Like Miriam. All my cousins, I have many cousins. Tremendous family. And every year in Passover, Thanksgiving, they'd all come to our house. And they always said I was very, very spoiled, because I was the first daughter. And my mother dressed me, cocked me. That's why I'm so well dressed to clock. And
Did you have tantrums? How do you know you were spoiled?
because I was just indulged. I couldn't, I was inept. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go anywhere or do anything independently. So I was taken care of. I was always taken care of.
If you said, I can't, someone was there.
Well, they even knew before I said I can't, but I couldn't.
Ah, they created.
They didn't know whether she could.
Capacity.
Yeah.
No, it's
She didn't know whether she could.
created incapacity. It's a creation of dependence.
Yeah. And my mother was very strong. Very strong. And you know what, lately, I've been thinking, when Dee said she, whatever, about her parents, that when you get really grown up, whoever your parents, or you say that's who they were, that's where they came from, and they couldn't help themselves. They did what they could. And if it wasn't their best, it was for a reason. It was the best that they could do. Yeah.
Every year when Rhonda lights the yahrzeit candle for her mother, she sits there and she says she did the best she could.
Oh, wow.
I tell that to my children all the time.
You do?
I say, you know, the problem with parenting is that you don't get practice.
Right. Good
You
point.
can only do the best that you can do. You're growing up.
And when you were talking, I felt like I am my children sitting at this table 20 years from now.
Oh, I'm always aware of that. Yeah.
I mean, now I can't look to them and criticize them. I'm going to criticize them.
Yeah, they do it now.
You're making yourself more than you are. You're not that.
It's not more. It's
Better?
It's an ideal to reach for. You know, we see examples of behavior that is kind and generous and giving, and we are unkind, selfish, and grasping. You know, but when we see those other examples, we understand that there's another place to go to be. I mean, a lot of the writing that I did, I think about 10 years ago, I started cannibalizing the conversation with my friends.
I remember that. That's what I'm doing now.
That's right.
Years of Miriam's cannibalism. You told me that was a good thing to do.
It is because, but my reason for doing it was to understand that other people had more room in their conflicted space, and I wanted to make my conflicts bigger. You know, mine were patterned. I could only go to one space, and I listened to other people, and I saw that they handled these things a little differently. And I thought, well, if I write down everything they say, maybe you'll learn how to do it.
Did it work?
Well, you see how wonderful I am today.
I think you're wonderful.
Thank you. Did it work? I don't know if it worked. I feel better now than I did then.
I did that.
Many other things happened as well. So,
But did it help you get rid of, like, that long piece that you thought about the ring? I did that out of fury.
yeah.
Is that what yours was?
Yeah. No, sometimes it was fury. Sometimes I would cannibalize to, because I was angry and I couldn't let my anger out. But sometimes it was really it was people I admired, not was angry at. And I wanted to understand who they were, how they were, what they thought. And it went by so fast, I thought, well, I'll never get it.
That's what I...
But you also have a belief
Yeah.
in one of Miriam's many religions is the religion of conversation. So Miriam really believes that if you can catch the dialogue as it flies by, some essential truth of human life is going to come through. And you have to have that faith.
But it isn't simply, you're not a recording machine, you're not a tape recorder.
I've been doing it this whole trip.
Yes, but I mean, you will then distill, reorganize, edit, and filter. No, it's
Oh, you interpreted that word.
It's learning, Barbara.
It is
learning.
much bigger than narcissism.
Okay.
And you'll know, as you shape it, you'll know if you've been untrue to your material.
Myself.
Yeah.
All the time with my record.
Or your material, which is not you.
Well, do that one. Like that one, okay.
You know, if I could have done better, if I could have.
And you think an artist does?
Yes, I
An
do.
artist can get out of himself,
Yes.
leave the ego alone.
Herself, yes.
Let the ego
Yeah, but I
go.
don't think it's easy.
That's why we do it.
Right. Of anybody except for maybe you and Leslie, but
You haven't taken pictures of
of each other.
individuals?
No.
I have. I have tons of pictures of everybody.
No, I took about,
So does Miriam.
I don't think I did. I don't think I took any.
This is a moment of Leslie faking being asleep.
Wonderful stroke of pants. Horses and men, blacks and whites and browns.
Ma lei ha sui 7 di coppe e dopo...
Non hai dato niente per 5, ho capito. Se quella
Se loro arriva lì, ci incazziamo noi.
I'm almost finished with my battery, too.
You need it for tonight. I didn't give you back the charger.
Yeah, I have to charge a little.
It was a great luxury to have it last night. Thank you.
Whatever that's called. Tetracycline. One of those cyclines. The one I like is amoxicillin because I don't get sick. Maybe they have that.
Time to eat yet? I was thinking I was hungry.
I had chocolate. You want some fried chocolate?
One of those biscuits.
Scherzi, deve prepararsi per quando viene in vacanza, non è una vacanza, è un lavoro quotidiano, sacrosanto, ma arriva l'ultima settimana che è stufato.
I've got a problem.
What?
I can't, no.
What are you doing, Dig? What do you ever do, and why? And if so, you have to find the reason. And what is the meaning of what you're doing? And if so, how would you explain it? Would you use words or images? And if so, why? If in fact you find the meaning through the words and images, do you expect that others will find the same meaning?
Bella giornata. Ma lo conosci questo? Non lo conosci mica questo? No, non è tuo nonno. Ma che? È nonno.
È mio nonno.
Io. Forza signora, io gli rompo l'obiettivo. Si vede più tardi. Ciao. Ciao. Che mi dice? Senti, mi sfruttano, senti. No,
And then, when you derive the meaning, find the verbiage in the image. Would you say, I have the answer?
That's the Last Supper. Well, I must tell everybody, it's got to be fast according to my thing here. It looks like it's getting close to the end of the tape.
Dave, I want to tell you something. Don't ever threaten me again.
Have your plates, please.
Did I threaten you?
If you ever embarrass me
Did
again.
I embarrass
If
you?
you ever put me down again.
Did I put you down?
If you ever compete with me again.
That I
I'm
can't
gonna
promise.
give you one.
All right, let's go, everybody.
I'm tired.
And one,
Okay, tired.
Bill?
Tonight, it's leftovers.
Leftovers, I might. She said so.
We are leftovers.
Yeah.
That was great.
That is the most same kind of
We all are.
things.
We all are.
I recommend everyone pray her up. It was a challenge.
Good job, I'm wearing half of it.
I'm sorry. Dee, may I?
Never mind, it's
Please.
We have another candle.
Here we have the art of grading.
Your Lily Drew, in your lap.
Should I do yours? Please. I'll put this on.
Stop.
cheese and,
Is that what that is? Truffle?
one is truffle and the other is pepper and seamy cheese. Little pepe.
Then I'll take some.
This soup is so good.
Who made this soup? Soup
Yes,
is delicious.
Gail added to it today.
Good.
No, not
Using up everything in the refrigerator.
There's a little mold, there's a.
Did everyone have one of these?
No.
Yeah.
They're coming around.
What's his name?
It's near.
Or maybe she did steal it. Oh, look what happened. I stole soup.
They're still on.
Fort Leavenworth. I work for the VA.
The army prison.
Yeah.
And have you been down to Watermy County?
Didn't we hear that story about somebody working for
That's where I worked
Walmart?
at the State Mental Hospital.
Oh, you did?
How do you pronounce it?
Who likes some more
Waterby.
red wine?
Oh, Sawatabi.
Would you like some more red wine? Would you like some more red wine?
It's for those who so want to be
I'm having to like that Leslie doesn't like.
God.
I'm putting it
Would you like some more red wine?
Yes, I will.
Go for it.
I'll go for it.
Anybody care for this nice light vernacha? Miriam?
This is wonderful, yeah.
I'll have some too.
Are you doing that?
I want what she's having. That's very funny.
That's very cute, Miriam. That was a brilliant
What was
movie.
that? What movie? Who could describe it? What movie?
Somebody and somebody.
Harry meets Sally.
Harry meets
Oh,
Sally.
I saw.
They're in a restaurant.
Oh, I
Remember
saw
that scene?
I love that.
Robin, do the scene.
That was
Oh, I didn't think I could
I was just gonna.
Why don't you do it, and then we can invite those people?
But you shut the door and then she could do it and they could just listen.
All right, anybody want this last cucumber?
No.
You-
It's all yours.
It is
I'll have
so
some of that dip, please. and
I'll
pour
share
in. Okay. what's
Just
that?
a little
Yeah.
piece so I can use up my dip.
Just a little piece. Just a
What's
little
in
piece.
this cheese?
Peppers.
Oh, real red peppers.
Red peppers.
I'm
But
glad.
that cheese is very different from the other one, isn't it, in texture?
Yes, very.
Yeah.
Actually, it's hotter as it stays in your mouth.
Maybe you should drop the camera and enjoy recording.
I'm enjoying this.
You are?
This is the way she.
But I'm not-
is.
but
She's
nobody's-
a whiner.
She wants a card finale.
I need something.
What are we gonna do?
We have the horror. And those people are gonna take the picture.
No, I'm here. I'm talking right into the
Do you
microphone.
want to?
Everybody else's voice is going to be quiet and I'm going to be shouting.
I wonder if it makes
It
adjusts for
doesn't.
that, doesn't
No, I'm the
Did
loudest.
we do a trip report?
Sweetie, we have the group around many tables.
We do, that was our thing.
Let's say something interesting.
It doesn't matter what we
think we-
say.
Oh, it doesn't get what you say?
It doesn't matter what we say.
Words don't matter?
Words don't matter. That's the thing about movies, words don't matter. Oh, really?
It's not
But
true.
do you think that
This is a silent
sitting
movie
around this
anyway.
table tonight is a lot different from sitting around the table
Why
5 days, 5 nights ago?
Why is this night different?
It should be, I mean, we should,
Send
you
her
know,
out
relax.
there.
She'll be able to see.
But basically, the,
I mean, it feels different to me, but then
Yes, I didn't know that.
I know people a bit now, and I didn't before, but to me, it feels just much, much closer, much more relaxed, much more genuine than it did.
Can you feel hotter because now your shoulders are terribly sunburned?
Yeah, you look great, by the way.
Doesn't she look great?
How do you
Proud
grow?
and I like this.
And elegant, there in her chest.
You actually did get a big.
I did?
Yeah. Hi, are you wearing a t-shirt?
Was? I was
In
wearing
the
this.
sand?
I was wearing this one.
I always had a farmer tan, you know, sort of
Like the gardening tan.
Yeah, you know, swoop around.
You get your gardening from Smith and Hawken,
No.
but you get the catalog.
I do.
Who doesn't get, even I get the catalog, and I don't even know a tomato from a pansy. But I get that catalog and I look at all those tools.
You know a pansy. You know a tomato from a pansy.
All right,
And
that's what's
right.
helping.
Yeah, it looks like you have more hair and then it got darker.
It got darker?
It
What
looks
about the
darker.
sides?
I love that
Right.
frame. It's like a halo, internal
They look
halo.
fabulous.
So good,
Just relax. You have nothing, you have nothing, any anxiety you have is completely unwarranted. Take it from me.
It's true, Robin's hair has never been so good.
I used to be completely bald, ask Leslie.
What did you do, what haircut did you, how did you get a
Did
haircut?
I ever tell you this hysterical story about,
I think you told it before. You told it to Gail. I think it was an ordeal.
oh, they said she has having an emergency. And they said, first they said, in September, they said we can fit her in November. And then my friend said, you call back and say, I said it was an emergency. And I called back and I said, Deborah Cass said it was an emergency. And they came back on the phone and they said, we'll see you tomorrow.
Whoa.
Tomorrow.
It was a fantastic haircut.
And then she gave me certain tips. Wash your hair at the maximum once every 10 days.
And
She
when you
said,
put it in-
wet your hair. I said, I go to the gym every day. She said, fine, take a shower and wet your hair. Put no detergent in it.
This is soap.
Are you putting mousse in it?
I'm putting nothing in it.
But you
I said, what
have-
about sweat? She said, sweat is fine. She said, rinse your hair when you take a shower.
Didn't use
Put
that,
no,
Patty.
put
Is
no
that right?
soap in it.
Is that right?
I swear, I
The
know
cut,
that.
the cut is a nasty cut. You know what they did?
This cut, I also got super cuts for $9. After the $125 cut, I went to Devachan, Devachan, which is where you should go,
Where
and
is it?
see Lorraine.
I can't give up Richard.
I'm telling you, she is the
I
hair
just got
genius.
back to Richard. I can't give up
You
Richard.
have to give up Richard and go to Lorraine.
You know, he doesn't have to know. You just go to Lorraine once.
That's right, you have to go to Lorraine once, that's the
Where is
reason. It's right on West Broadway. It's right on Broadway.
You can go to the museum,
So,
some galleries at the same time.
You know where it is? It's directly
Yeah, the
across the
museum.
street from the downtown Guggenheim.
Okay.
It's directly across the street on
You
Broadway.
might have to tell me all this again.
I'm telling you, I went once. I went once. I invested $125, and that was it.
Okay, when you tell us, I would not be worried for that.
Does anyone want coffee?
They have to do 20 cuts per hour.
Should this be opened?
Even in State College?
Lolita,
No.
because,
I was afraid to do it because I thought I'd get, you know, I've got sensitive skin and I thought I'd get rashes and all that.
so you never did it your whole life?
Oh, I did when I was, 13 or 14 or whatever, and then I stopped. And I've shaved my legs since I was about 13. I have no
What I meant was, I thought it was so dashing that she had long underarm hair. I had never had a girlfriend who had long, like Leslie could braid her hair, it was so long. It was very long underarm, Leslie, it was so.
Because you're here.
She looked like this all the time.
Yeah, and what happened to her long underarm here?
She braided
I
it.
thought if Leslie has it, I thought if Leslie has it, it must be right.
So you copied it?
I couldn't grow any, you see this? This is as much underarm hair as I can grow.
Or maybe.
Keep getting
It's because,
What do women talk about when they go away to Italy?
it's because,
It's because I think my body's a little confused about masculine, feminine.
So now you have more hair.
yeah.
I don't know, I'm kind of a newt.
You just don't have all the hair.
A hairless newt.